Hello, my YouTubers. I'm going to take you right now to the Toronto Argonauts media availability post game after the Argos beat BC Lions 26-12. Enjoy the post game press conference.
Listen up. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're still paying full price when you shop online, we need to talk. You know that?
Hey coach, just wanted to get your thoughts
Hey,
on
Dave.
the penalty called on Chad. Did you feel it was the right call? Do you feel like it maybe should have been given a harsher penalty, given that it did knock him out of the game?
It's kind of hard for me to comment. I know the league doesn't care for us to comment, so I'll need to take a look at the film. I had an impression watching it live, but I'll need to watch the film to really get a better assessment.
That's fair. It felt like a really physical game. Both sides, both teams were really dialing up
Yeah,
the physicality. How did you feel your team responded to that?
I felt good about our physicality. I mean, we took some injuries tonight, as I said, and we had to have some guys step up. That's what we do. We work hard all through the week. That if guys get opportunities, they got to step up and play the way we want to play. That's smart, fast, and physical. And give BC credit too, as you said. That's a physical football team. I think Buck Pierce and the guys they do a great job. This is a long travel to come in here and play, and we're excited about the win. But yeah, definitely it was a physical matchup like we expected.
All right, thanks, coach. Safe travels.
Up next,
Sure,
Griff
thanks, Dave.
Bourdignon from Three Down Nation. Griff?
Hey, Mike, do you believe the hit on Chad Kelly was dirty?
Hey, Griff, how you doing? Again, there were a lot of bodies around in that moment from where my vantage point was. I'd like to think that that's not the case. But again, until I really take a look at the film, I would just be guessing.
What was the process after Kelly went down to decide that he couldn't return to the game?
Unfortunately, and I say normal, I don't mean that any other sense, that Nick's our number two, and then we had to go right back to work. Definitely hate losing any one of our players to injury, but this is the nature of the business. And it's all about how you respond and moving forward. And those are opportunities for the next guy. So proud of Nick. I thought he handled it well. And we had some movement inside the O-line. I mean, they're a tough physical group on defense. And so we had to kind of adjust some things and how we were operating. But having Nick's leadership and experience certainly goes a long way in those moments.
Did you get an update from the training staff at all, whether if it was a head injury or if there was anything with the neck?
I did not. I had a gentleman here ask me live or in person, and I'll probably get an update when we get, on the plane. But until then, I really don't have any updates on guys.
And then I just wanted to ask about Brady Lister. Do you see him being the kicker after the bye week, or is there a chance that we see Lerum kicking against Calgary?
Well, I think it's like what I said the other day. This is something that we reassess every day. We go through it, some long meetings with Jim Barker, and we look at that roster board, and after we watch practice, or in this case, watch a game, we always are reassessing. And we do that after wins as well. So, I wouldn't be prepared to comment on that until after we've watched the film.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Mike. Safe travels.
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
Frank Stanici from Candid Frank Live. Frank?
Coach, thank you for doing this. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too, Frank. Thanks.
We've seen you go through the challenge of the schedule. No complaining, no whining about it. But if you look at it honestly from the beginning of the season, 3-4, define that for us. How happy are you with the 3-4 record, considering the challenges of what you've been through?
Well, I'll tell you what. The thing that I am happy with is our effort, the mindset of this team, our veteran leaders. Again, we're just about how we respond. We're going one play to the next, and I really do mean it. We're process driven, and we're all about getting better. And there are plenty of things here that we'll need to get better from and learn. But really proud of their effort. But to answer your other part of that question, look, it's probably a sickness in coaching. But as you ask me that, I sit here and think of the plays that maybe got away from us in other games that maybe would have changed our record even to date. But we are what we are. Again, we're going to try to go 1-0 after the bye, and that's it. Our focus will always be process driven, and it's about we're only as good as the next day. So that's kind of where we are.
Review. I know you have to see the film, but I was interested on your at least live interpretation of Lemon's contribution to the team and the team's working with him. The symbiosis between the player and the team.
Yeah, well, I can tell you this. That started during the week. Yeah, I could see that during the week. The way he plays, he's a pro. The way he prepares, his leadership, working with the younger guys especially. And then he took advantage of opportunities here tonight, just like we saw through the years when I played him and he was in Montreal. I mean, he's a tough competitor. He plays smart and he's physical. So, yeah, we were very excited to be able to add him to the lineup. And let me also say that, the job Maxey does as in coaching those guys is outstanding. It's a great room. They rally together and they push each other. So yeah, he fits nicely into what we're trying to do, and they're led by Maxey and of course Greg Quick's history with them. That didn't hurt either.
Well, good luck with your player, the quarterback who was injured, and safe travels to Toronto.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Final questions from Justin Dunk, 3 Down Nation. Justin.
Mike, your kicker, Liram Hajrullahu, was listed as not injury related throughout the week. Can you shed some light on what's going on with Liram?
I believe it was some personal matter, but that's really all I'm willing to, I guess, get into with that.
Okay. And then in terms of just the process when Chad is removed from the game, like how does that work from when you see the hit to whatever the medical people tell you, and then you ultimately make the decision that he's not going to return? How does that work?
Well, my part of that is I am told from our medical staff. That goes through an evaluation with doctors, and that's one that we just adhere to. Really, it's that simple. They tell me if a guy's coming back or if he's not, and then we just have to move on to the next down. It's not that, we certainly feel bad, and I hate to lose any of our players to an injury, but in that situation, this is pro ball. We got to move forward, but that all comes from the medical staff.
And then what's it going to be like, Mike? I'll get you out on this, for the team to have the bye
Sure.
week, get moved into Toronto, and then prepare for that home opener at BMO Field.
Yeah, it's big. Chance for guys to get home or get back to where they're living for the season, and then get into maybe some of that routine. But I will say that the people at Guelph University, the administration, they've been outstanding. They've made such a great place for us. The facility, the food, the dining hall, the staff there. So no complaints. They've been great for us. And but yeah, now it's time to go back to BMO and try to enjoy a little home cooking, as they say.
Thank you, Mike.
Hey, Nick, we've seen you obviously come in these situations many times before. What felt different about this one, if there was really any difference?
Not too much of a difference. Each one is a different situation. I'd say that's one of the biggest things to evaluate when you're coming on the field. And being locked in the game and knowing what's going on. Because you never know when that opportunity comes, at what point in the game, what the situation is. I had understanding of how successful our defense was this game, and how well we were dominating on that side of the ball. Our special teams were handling things. So it helped me change kind of my approach and how I was managing the game situations, and making sure that, we didn't give them any extra opportunities. We didn't do anything negative on our side of the ball, because I knew, our defense had us a lead when I came in, and I knew they were going to take care of it the rest of the game.
I don't know how good of a vantage point you had of the hit on Chad. If you did see it, what did you think of it? in the time you saw it?
I didn't have a great viewpoint. I'm kind of watching the play, watching what happened downfield. I didn't really know he took off and scrambled until kind of people started to converge around him. Obviously, anytime somebody's going for a slide and they get hit, it's it's an illegal play. You can never. It's hard to judge somebody's intentions, and I don't want to do that, especially when I didn't get a chance to really look at it. It's just an unfortunate part of this game. It's happened to players before. And we got to be able to protect ourselves as a quarterback without the fear of getting our head taken off as we're sliding. So hopefully Chad comes back here pretty quickly. But unfortunately, we have this bye, and yeah.
Did you get a chance to talk to Chad afterwards? Just any chance to speak and see how he's doing?
No, not till after the game. He was in the locker room here. Seemed like he was doing pretty good, but didn't talk too much about his injury. He seemed like he was in it. So I'm not really sure what the extent of anything is, but he seemed like he was in good spirits and just happy for the team to win.
All right, thanks, Nick.
Let's go to Griff Bordignon from 3 Down Nation. Griff?
Hey Nick, do you believe the hit on Chad was dirty at all, just from the quarterback standpoint?
Like I said earlier, it's what's dirty and what's illegal, I think, is kind of dictated by the intent of the player and what they're trying to accomplish. I didn't get a really chance to look at that, closely. I saw it happen briefly on the field from 50 yards away and didn't really see a replay of it. So it's hard to tell whether the player was trying to, hit him, knew he was sliding, went for him anyways, or just an ill-timed play where he's trying to go for a hit and as Chad begins to slide, and that's part of the game. But you want to take that out of football as much as you can, and as a quarterback, you need to be able to feel like you can protect yourself. So I don't want to give too much on it without being able to really see the films.
You had a couple rushing attempts on the game tonight, but one of them in particular, you managed to get the stiff arm out there and hit the Heisman pose. Is that something that's just like a heat of the moment thing, or is that something that you're just like, yeah, I'm going to do this anyway, just when you're out there?
No, that was definitely a heat of the moment thing. I think I remember I tried to stiff arm once before, back in 2019 on Enoch Mwamba, and it did not go as successfully as it went today. So it definitely wasn't in my plan, but I've seen Kevin do it so much this season that it kind of just came out, and fortunately it worked and we got a first down off of it. And just got to work on the conditioning, because after each scramble I was pretty tired.
What did a win tonight mean for you and the group, not only going into the bye week, but knowing that your next home game is going to be a true home game back at BMO Field in 2 weeks?
It's obviously with the situation of what's been going on, this is the tail end of our 7-game road stretch. You're 2-4 fighting a 3-game losing streak. So obviously getting a win is huge. But at any point, at any time in the season for any team, the game going into a bye week is always super important. You're going to feel that win or that loss for a lot longer before you get back to the field. So that feeling's going to linger, and you want to make sure you have good spirits and good energy and good vibes going into that bye week, and everybody can come back and get ready to go and, build on this through the last 2/3 of the season.
Coming out of the bye week, are you going to be prepared to be the starter, or are you just going to wait and see how the diagnosis goes with Chad?
Mentally, I'm always preparing like I'm going to be the starter. Each week, the big difference is just kind of the physical preparation of the reps that you get on in practice and things like that, and some of the input that you have in game planning and installs. But I'm mentally gonna just be locked in, and coming out of the bye, I'll probably hear when everybody else hears about Chad's injury status, and but I'll be ready for whatever this team needs from me to help us win, whether that's the role I've been playing or whether it's the role I played last year, for however long that is. I just want this team to win and be a part of it any way I can.
Appreciate it, Nick. Thank you very much. Safe travels.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And Frank Stanici from Candid Frank Live. Frank?
Nick, you're in a special position. I mean, how many quarterbacks that are backups are Grey Cup MOPs? So I don't think you're suffering from confidence. What is it that you have to really work? You hinted a little bit at the physical part of the game. What are the challenges for you, a guy who obviously has reason to be confident? What is the work that you need to do?
Look at this. Seriously, look. If this came out earlier, plumbers would be out of business. No matter which drain in your house is clogged, stop wasting money on pros. Professional pipe cleaners fear this method the most. Just 15 minutes. Seriously, 15 minutes, and your pipes are clear for good. This is
I think it's really just getting the chemistry and getting to see and feel the timing with the receivers on the new plays and things, especially downfield throws. A lot of the things that I get to work with the receivers and things I do after practice. Those are my physical reps usually after practice. And a lot of those things are short throws and intermediate throws because obviously guys' legs, you want to protect their legs. You don't want them running, posts and double moves and stuff. Always the most challenging thing coming off the bench cold with no reps in the middle of a game is being able to properly execute and just get a good vision and see the downfield passing game. That's something that definitely comes with a physical week of preparation that I would look forward to if that was the case, if that was the situation we're going into after the bye.
So you're going into the huddle. How seamless is that? Because that's a bit different too, right? In live action, to go into the huddle and get the attention of the guys. How good does it feel to be back there?
I'm sorry, can you?
Yeah, we're having a little trouble with the internet.
No, you're good. I heard you now. It's the most fun part and special part. It helps that I have a lot of familiarity with our receivers. Even Tyler, who's the only new guy, was on the team last year for the latter half. And, I created a good relationship with him in training camp and everything. So, I love these guys. It's so much fun to be back there with them. And the communication that I can have with them going into each play, the little comments that I make to the receivers or the running back and being able to talk to them and get everybody on the same page. What's up, Chris? I don't want you to run over here. Thanks, Nick. That's honestly the most special thing that I miss the most when I'm not playing, and that I cherish the most when I do get the opportunity.
Well, listen, congratulations on the victory. Safe travels home and enjoy eventually living out of your home, not out of a suitcase.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Final questions, Justin Dunk from 3 Down.
Nick, when you unleash a stiff arm like that, do you back it up with some trash talk?
I saw Coxie and Dave and people were trash talking for me. Hopefully I can get there at some point. Honestly, I was so tired after that run, and it was only like 15 yards. I was very exhausted and too tired to trash talk, almost too tired to call the play in the next play. So, hopefully I can get there. Honestly, it gives me a lot of respect for guys like Coxie or Kevin or anybody who can make a big play and still have the energy to trash talk and taunt and celebrate. I'm just trying not to die.
What's it like to put down a linebacker of Sankey's status like that with one hand?
That was Sankey? I saw him after the game. I would have talked trash to him about that after the game if I knew it was him. Nah, that's pretty cool. Honestly, I didn't know that was him. I have so much respect for him. I've had a lot of battles with him over in Montreal over the years, playing in the East for the past few seasons. He's such a phenomenal player, one of the biggest, baddest inside linebackers the league has had in years. So, obviously that's pretty cool. And I'll make sure I let him know about it next time I see him.
You stiff armed a guy like that, but you didn't know who it was? How's that happen?
Everything is just a blur. Honestly, I see Matthew Betts screaming past me and I duck under him. And before I knew it, there was just another person in front of me. It was pretty cool. And, honestly, getting the win was great, but it's fun to break out a run when you're as old as I am in this league.
Thank you for watching the post game. I hope you enjoy. I'll be back with more Argos highlights after the bye week is over. Have a good one. Bye for now.